Truly, in preparation for a couple of radio calls for the vast and ever-expanding Wild Radio Network in March at Chicago and at Winnipeg, attends Wild games and like calls periods and stuff like that with Hyper A. Did that last night, looking to take positive verbal steps for the Life Changers in March. But early in the second period, with Meatsauce by my side, we hit record, and this happened. And welcome back to XL Energy Center. It is Paul Allen with my beloved Saucy. Meatsauce, Paul Lambert, about ready to head into the second period. Game's tied at 1. Jared Spurgeon with a power play goal for the Wild. Yandel scored for the Panthers. And Saucy, the second period is underway.
I'm looking forward to this, PA. This is the first time I've ever actually talked while being at a hockey game up in the press box. It's very much like a Dr. Seuss book.
But isn't it crazy, like, how much talking there is in hockey play-by-play? I mean, you've been behind me to the right hand of the box many times during Vikings games. There's so much talking, Sauce. It's unbelievable.
And there's no Pete Bursich to throw it to, so I don't know how you make it all the way through it, but it's constant talking.
Oh, by the way, we're 30 seconds into the second period, and the Wild had it in the Panther zone, and the Panthers had it in the Wild zone. Aaron Sickman, the media relations conduit for the Minnesota Wild, here's Zucker, power trip favorite, had an opportunity, but opted not to shoot. Anyway, Aaron Sickman, you know him from the press conferences with Boudreau, shot, save. He's the one that says time for 2 more. You know, he's the one with the tiny legs, and he likes to go to a bunch of concerts and stuff like that. He came up to me, Sauce, between periods, and he's like, are you guys meat-saucing this game? You need to put more attention into the game and take it a little more seriously, man.
I think it's always the people that you keep, and it's the company that you keep. And the second I showed up, they knew this was going to be a gong show because I was here for the distraction factor and to make this whole thing about me.
Saucy, Paul Allen, XL Energy Center, game tied at 1. Crappy Wings here on Wednesday. Then the Wild have a 9-day break. Now, Saucy, the leading scorer for the Florida Panthers is Jonathan Huberdeau. Let me ask you a question. If you're Joel Quenneville, coach of the Panthers, what do you like doing more? Saying Huberdeau or actually like playing Huberdeau?
I like Googling Huberdeau. I like to see what would come up if you Googled Huberdeau in a website.
No, man, it's Huberdeau.
Oh, Huberdeau?
Yeah, like for your cars from Minneapolis over to the east side of the river, you don't take an Uber, you take an Uber like Huberdeau. By the way, the Wild have the puck. Stahl just fell down. It was aggressive. Hopefully he's okay. Game tied at 1, 2 minutes into the second period. Now, what just happened, Sauce? A host of Wild players went to their bench. In the business, they call that a line change.
I like line changes. I like hockey because it's kind of like what I do. It's like a minute and a half of work, and then you get to take a break. I could, if I had the energy, I would applied myself to play hockey because I like all the sitting down.
Do you have a favorite member of the Minnesota Wild, Saucy, and if so, why?
Oh, it's got to be Jason Zucker. I think Jason Zucker's a great guy. He does a lot for the community, and he also pays for golf every time we play.
Now, Matt Dumbo was just eyeballing that puck off the face-off, kind of like Rosie eyeballs Carly Applin Zucker when she's in the Bryan Heating and Cooling Studios, man. It was kind of weird.
If Rosie knew Carly was here, he would show up. Rosie would literally Tasmanian devil his way through the press box to get to her and sit there with her.
17:48 to go in the second period. Wild have 14 shots compared to 7 for the Panthers. Bunch of shots taking place. Oh, yeah. And Jonas Brodin has it behind Alex Stalock. Have I told you Alex and I are friends?
I've seen him in the Vikings box at U.S. Bank Stadium, and I never know who he is because I only see him with a face mask on. I've never known him, and he showed up one time. I'm like, who the hell is this random homeless guy hanging out in the Vox box?
Well, the thing, man, as the Panthers have it in the Wild zone, but it doesn't matter because whatever they throw on Stalock, he'll probably stop. Uh-oh, Foligno, chance, center. Yeah, somebody meat-sauced it in front of Bob Vrosky, and they weren't there for the centering pass. Anyway, wasn't it unbelievably cool Sunday night at Levi's Stadium? We have a play stoppage. when San Francisco beat Green Bay. Didn't you just love that?
My favorite part of the whole game is how they literally knew they were going to run it. They knew what they were going to do, and they could not stop it. They even try, and some of the breakdowns on Twitter about how Mike Pettin just kept putting pass rushers out there, and they'd run right at him. It was maybe the greatest football game I've seen all season.
Now, Luke Cunnin is about to face off at center ice, and he goes against Brian Boyle. The face-off is won by the Florida Panthers, and they sweep it into the wild zone behind Alexander Stalock. When you see Stalock, doesn't he remind you of like old-school goalies, Patrick Waugh, Ken Dryden, and maybe one of your favorites, the Dominator, Dominik Hasek?
Was Pete Peters a goalie, the old Philadelphia Flyer? Do you remember that guy? Pete Peters was his name.
What do I look like? The president of the Philadelphia Flyers? Oh, shot! Save, Bobrovsky, rebound, no good. And Hartman has it in the corner. Now Patterson with a shot. We're kind of peppering this goaltender right now a little bit, aren't we, Saucy?
They're getting after it, man. It's fun to see. There's a little life in this team after the 2-game winning streak they're currently on. Hopefully they can stretch it to 3.
Now, Joel Quenneville is the coach of the Florida Panthers, Sauce. Do you think with the Panthers being here since yesterday and all day today, if you saw Joel, would you ask him if he went to the mall?
Yes, I would. I'd say, are you going to the mall later? And then when he looked at me and said, what the hell are you talking about? I'd say, were you the guy that used to coach, was it Dallas? Did he coach Dallas?
No, Chicago.
Oh, yeah, Chicago. Why did they fire him?
I don't know if they, what do I look like, Elias Sports Bureau? I don't know if they fired him.
No, they did. If Joel Quenneville can get fired, there's no hope for any of us.
Hey, can somebody get a shot here in the second period? Saucy wants a little bit of action. Oh, yeah.
It's PA.
I can't even believe it. They stink so bad you can't even make it up.
Weekdays 9 to noon on The Fan.